What's up, guys? I'm Mr. Audio, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. So today's the day. I'm really excited to release Vocal Sauce Rack 4. I did a little bit of a rebrand with the pictures, and I included way more stuff in this effect rack. Now, before, Ableton didn't have any automatic tuning function. Now they do. It's called Auto Shift, and I've included a module in here. It's kind of set up kind of like Nectar would be. You can just move your modules around in any order you want, and process the vocals how you choose. So how I have it set up right now is kind of the Warren Hewart method, EQ, de-ess, compress, but you can choose to move the modules around as you please. Now, I have settings in here that I've chose for everything. They are modifiable by hitting the map button and setting your ranges, but if you screw it up and overwrite it, you might have to download it again from my website. It's free, so don't worry about it. Anyway, you want to watch the tutorial so you understand how this works. So let's go through each module first. Okay, so first of all, you got your noise. It's just a gate with a threshold, one knob to kind of work it, and that's it. The two important controllers on the tuning module are right here. However, I left it open so you can see it like this, so you can set your key, and if you need to adjust formants, you can do that as well. And then it's also got a vibrato function right here. You got a rate for your LFO, and you can set your vibrato to however much sense you want it to go up and down. I would also like to draw your attention over here to the vocal register. I wouldn't mess with the dry wet unless you're trying to get more of like a double effect, which you can do, but I've got a depth and dimension plugin that kind of takes care of that anyways. We move on to the preamp section. So Ableton has 3 different tube amps that are basically you can run any sound through, and I chose to include that in here so that you can have some sort of preamp to run your vocals through. It adds a little bit of saturation. Do I use these in high amounts? No. Basically, you set your drive and your tone, and you can dial back the dry wet knob if you want some more of your natural voice again. Now, EQ is self-explanatory. Basically, I left all of these settings in here like this because it's easy and it works for most vocals, at least mine and a few other vocals of my clients that I've tested this on. Now you can always open this up like I've done here and set new nodes and kind of adjust it that way. So you can literally just take this and it's just an EQ. You can do whatever you want. So you can adjust this as you see fit. And I find that having a bit more control or access to more controls is kind of necessary sometimes when you're working with a lot of clients, or this might not work for your voice, so you might have to set a band or two. Now you can map your own frequencies right here. Click the map button and you can kind of set your range and do what you want there. That's how I make these. It's really difficult to find stuff that works for everybody in a catch-all. So if you really want to, you can kind of open it up and try to mess around with it yourself. But if you do screw up, you can always download from a website again. It is free, but you want to watch the rest of this tutorial so you know how it works. So then I got a one knob de-esser that kind of brings back the high end after it kind of dulls it down with the lowering of your S's, your sibilant parts. It kind of darkens it up. So I brought some, as you darken it up with the de-essing function, I made some EQs kind of push up as well on the high end with a shelf. So that kind of works in your favor, but don't have to EQ as much after the fact. And this compressor here is fairly aggressive. It kind of works like an 1176. I have it set for certain settings that 1176 would be set to, but the ratio is at 4, so it's actually already pretty aggressive. So I'd use it in small amounts and try not to over-compress your vocals because you'll get a crunchier feeling, unless that's what you're going for. Then you got yourself another EQ with some slightly different settings. I figured having 2 different EQs might allow you to do this a lot faster than having to go in there and kind of just EQ different little points and nodes for each vocal. And then I've got another de-esser that in case you're a really sibilant vocalist, you can just turn up the amount here and it will take care of the S's. Now it will darken up your vocals, so you might have to push some high end. You might want to bring this before the EQ and push up the high end a bit more. So you can also dial back the dry wet. Everything in this effect rack works with your MIDI controller. So you can just click on each module like I've done here. And then you have all of the controls right here. This one has 4 different macro controls. These first 4 controllers here on my MIDI controller, the Ableton Push 1, I know it's an old controller, but would be able to control those. So I wanted it to be easy to use kind of like an old school engineers would turn two knobs at the same time and listen for their sound. So you can actually do that with all of the modules in this effect rack. I think that's what makes this effect rack so awesome and quick to use, is the easiness of using this. Anyway, then you got your glue compressor. I would also use this in small amounts because even with the ratio set at 4, again, it's still pretty aggressive. And I would not try to overcompress your vocals. I use this in percentages with a threshold amount. And then you got your grit VSR 4. So basically, this is the grit box that I've released. I don't know if I've released the grit box on my website. If I haven't, I'll release it soon. But basically, it's targeted saturation that uses EQ emphasis and de-emphasis. So basically, what it does is it boosts frequencies wherever you put that. And then there's a second EQ at the end of the chain that takes away the exact amount of boosting in that same area. So basically what you're left with is just the saturation in that specifically targeted area, which is really cool if you're trying to bring out a part in a track, like a vocal track, and you want to try to get like, okay, I want to hear more intelligibility. I want to hear more of the sibilant parts, but I've de-essed it so much. Maybe I could just saturate that part. And that's what this is for. The last module in the chain before the final limiter is your depth and dimension. By default, I have dry wet all the way down, but set to 20% amount. So you can just kind of crank this up a little bit and get some doubling effect or some chorus effect. And then you can add some warmth and width to it if you so choose. Now, adding some warmth or width at 20% will just add some thickness on the sides. Great for a chorus if you only sang one take. I think it's awesome. It works amazing. And obviously, there's a final limiter to control the final output of the track. You can also drive it into the limiter, which I wouldn't recommend, unless you're really just trying to even out that waveform. So I would just use that to kind of catch all so that it's not going to go above 0 dB FS. So let's listen to this vocal that I processed with third-party plugins first, and then we'll listen to what I've done with the vocal sauce rack, and we'll kind of go back and forth between them, and then I'll show you how to use it. So here's the original vocal that I processed with like Nectar and some other compressors and whatnot, and a preamp.
Matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy.
And now I'm going to play the vocal sauce rack version, but I'm going to switch between the two a few times so you can hear that they're very, very similar, almost identical. Let's check it out. So here's the vocal sauce rack.
Matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy.
Now there's a little bit of tuning happening here. Let me shut that off so you can actually hear that without the tuning, because it's already been tuned. So let's listen to the vocal sauce rack version, then I'll go back and forth between the two, the third-party plugin processed and the vocal sauce rack.
Matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy.
Now the vocal sauce rack might be a little bit colder, and which all it would need is a little bit of low-end boost here. Let's see if we can just do that right now.
Matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on Matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. Seeing you smile is something I treasure, so I'm always thinking of ways that are clever to get your face grinning with you by my side.
Now they sound pretty identical. Anyway, let's get there together, all right? I'll show you how the effect rack is used, and we can enjoy the effect rack together. First, let's go here, and we're going to loop this track right here. All right, so I'm going to play this.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making...
Okay, so we don't need tuning because it's already been tuned, and it's just going to give it an AutoTune vibe now that's already been tuned.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy.
Now, I have cut out all the noise in this, so this kind of noise threshold here that I'm doing is kind of pointless, but I'm showing you that, hey, it's easy to, cut out noise. I turned tuning off. You could even shut the noise off for this one. You don't need it. Let's just minimize these. Now the preamp. Let's listen to the preamp.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you...
I'm bringing this in a little bit here.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you.
Now let's add a little bit of compression.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you.
I feel like we just need a little bit of like low mids boost.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle.
Now, I don't think we need any more de-essing, so I'm going to leave this de-esser alone. Let's check out the glue compressor, though.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter.
It's a little loud, so we're going to minus 3 decibels.
No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on making you happy. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on. No matter the weather, we sticking together forever and ever. With every letter, you making me better, so I never settle on.
And honestly, that sounds really, really close. That's the video, guys. I hope you go and download this effect rack. It's on my website. Link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mr. Audio, out.